We are live from Radio Row. Jake Asman with you, and joining us right now is one of the bright spots on the New York Jets. That is wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. A.D., welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me, man. How you doing?
I mean, I'm great now that I'm talking with you. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
again, I mean it when I say bright spots because when you were acquired at the trade deadline, chaos amongst the fan base, Sauce Gardner's getting traded, Quinton Williams, what is happening? And you were a part of the Sauce trade, and you came in right
Yeah.
away. And you became, a real nice playmaker for this team. Take us inside what that was like for you. What were you doing when you found out you got traded, and how much
Yeah.
of your life was a complete whirlwind at that point?
Well, I was actually in the quarterback room watching film, preparing to play the Falcons that week in Germany, I believe. Um, I'm watching film with two of the quarterbacks in there, and I get a text. GM wants to meet with you. Go walk down, and I have our meeting. And so it wasn't a situation where I'm laying in bed scrolling online, and I'm like, hold on, I got traded. You know what I'm saying? It was more so I was able to have that face to face sit down conversation, and it's no hard feelings there, but just in my second year, it was definitely something that was just different, man. I woke up that morning a Colt, and by 12 p.m. I was a Jet. So that and a lot comes with that, whether it's housing situation, where to live at, what clothes you gonna wear, where you gonna get your food from. Two different places have two different styles of food. Um, and obviously the big thing, two different playbooks, two different quarterbacks, two different systems. Like everything was just different, and it was
And you
it
played with
was
three different
something.
quarterbacks when you became a Jet as well.
True, true. So it was a lot going on, but of course either you're gonna rise or fall to the occasion.
For you,
Um,
you were in such a crowded wide receiver room
yeah,
in Indianapolis.
yeah,
When you get to
full
the
of
Jets,
ballers.
right? A lot of really good players.
Hmm.
You yourself one of them, but now you get the opportunity with the Jets to start
Yeah,
playing. What was that like? Did it feel like it was natural to start getting all those reps and being out there game in, game out?
yeah. It definitely that was the first time I played and like started back to back games. I would either play one game or just not play. So like in terms of like just building game confidence, like that's a real thing that you have to play through, learn through, and go through. And you know just finding your own kind of mental stability um is also another huge thing. But I say the support staff and coaching staff, like they made sure whatever I needed, I got, whether it was special or not special, but like added attention for to learn the playbooks and things like that. They made sure I got that.
What was the experience like working on learning the quarterbacks and the playbook
Yeah,
with another guy in that room, John Mechie, who also was acquired
yeah,
in a trade at the
yeah,
trade deadline?
yeah. Shoot, me and Messi, shoot, that was my road dog essentially, dog. Like we was always in the building at the same time. Like we was always talking to each other about like just everything. Like kind of how the experience has been for us and whatnot. But yeah, yeah. Like we pretty much did everything together in that building when we first got there for sure.
What were your conversations like with the head coach, Aaron Glenn? What's your relationship like with him?
Yeah. I like AG a lot, man. I like AG. I believe in his vision. I believe in who he is. Um and the good thing is I don't have to question who he is. He wakes up and he shows it every day. So yeah, man. I love AG. I believe in the vision, and I'm excited to get the role.
Were you surprised that Tanner Engstrand, the offensive coordinator, wasn't being brought back?
Um Man, look, I don't get paid to make those decisions. Of course, in our exit meeting, I was definitely looking forward to, getting back with him. But I mean, that's the name of the business. Like I was just fired essentially from one spot, and another spot wanted me more. So a lot of times that's just how it goes.
Have you heard from Frank Reich yet, the new offensive
Oh yeah,
coordinator?
yeah. I made sure I reached out to him. You know, following the news. Um, Definitely make sure I reached out to
He's a
him.
former Jet. He was teammates with AG on the
Yeah,
1996 New
yeah.
York Jets.
I think I seen that on Twitter. Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah. For you, I know obviously Garrett Wilson was injured by the time you got to the Jets. So you
yeah,
guys have never actually played in a game together
yeah.
lined up. But I think a lot of Jet fans, myself included, were excited about the possibility of you guys out there together. You know, you played at Texas. Garrett is actually from Austin. So there's that connection there.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on potentially lining up and playing next to G5.
Man, look, man, that boy is a baller, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no easy way to put it. Like he a ball player. You know, he's somebody that attracts attention, and you know, he's somebody that you have to respect. You know, when we when you going up against the Jets, you saying how do we stop this Jets offense? He's definitely somebody that you have to make him a priority, and um shoot, I love playing with people like that. You know what I mean? It'll kind of remind me of my time in Texas. You know, when I transferred in and played along Xavier Worthy and my dog Jay Witt. You know, just it'll just be fun to kind of play off each other, and kind of one person don't have to be Superman. You know what I mean? It's a team thing. So um I can't wait, man. I'm excited because I'm already a big fan of his game. So uh, and I haven't been able to even practice with him for real. So you know, it'll be fun, man. It'll be fun.
Any idea who your quarterback might be next season?
Hey, look, man. That's a good question. I don't really get paid to worry about that though. Like I just get paid to be the best I can be. Whoever the quarterback is, be there for him, be reliable for him, and be consistent for him. And you know, that's all I really look forward to doing.
You're there to make big explosive plays like you did in that Falcons game.
Yeah.
Tyrod throwing the bomb downfield. I mean,
Yeah.
that's from a Jet fan perspective, we've been dying for another explosive wide receiver, and that's your
Yeah.
game. You go up and make plays downfield.
Yeah.
You know, for you, AD, what was the biggest adjustment going from college to the pros? What stood out right away, and what are you still working on in your game to get better going forward?
Um, I just say just how fast everything goes. You know that the coaching staff when they're going through these installs, like they're not gonna dumb it down for you. You know, is we're all gonna get the same install, and um, you know that was probably the biggest thing, and just like how long we meet, like how long the meeting times are. I definitely wasn't used to that either. Um, but kind of as far as playing goes, um, I don't know.
Have you had that welcome to the NFL moment in your first couple of years in the league? Is there
Like is it something that somebody else has done to me?
Yeah.
No, I can't really say that, but I kind of prepare for that. Like I give everybody their respect because everybody's a damn good player. Like you make it to the league, you are a damn good player, whether you are a starter, a pro bowler, a all pro, or a practice squad. Like you none of those guys are slouches. Like you know what I mean? So I definitely prepare to not be embarrassed by every single person that I go against.
Who's the best DB that you've gone against so far?
Can't really say. I don't know. You'd have to ask me that next year.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, but I didn't really have too much game experience. You know what I mean? This was essentially like my first year.
Did you feel like a rookie when you
Yeah.
were getting that time with the Jets this year?
Yeah. Really, really because of the trade though, I would say. Like just because like it's like, oh, live bullets flying. I don't really know this place like that. You know what I mean? I don't really know the playbook like that, but we trying to make it work. But a full off season with the team and just being able to slow the game down from practice and leading that onto the field, that'll be huge.
Have you gotten the chance to experienced the city at all since you've been a Jet? Get a chance to really take in your new home?
I wouldn't worry about none of that. I have
got the
plenty
off season
time.
now.
I got plenty of time down the road. So
love that. Well, what's your message as we wrap up here? And we'll get to what you're here with Dexcom. What's your message to the Jet fans? All right, 3-14 season, no playoffs in 15 years. We're dying for something. We're watching our old quarterback in the Super Bowl, our division rival as the opponent. Like the fan base is just starving for anything, and you could be a big part of hopefully getting the Jets back on track.
Final message. I don't know. You know, we definitely want to win more than fans want us to win. So, you know, it like we don't take losing lightly. So, that's all I got.
Talk to us about Dexcom.
Dexcom G7. That is who I'm out here with, man. You know, I've been diagnosed with diabetes since I was 16 years old, man, and you know, I spent my first 2-3 years being diabetic, you know, just finger pricking, beating up my fingertips, man. Got nothing but little holes in them, and you know, I was able to make that transition into Dexcom, and you know, it pretty much just made my life as a diabetic a lot easier. You know, it allowed me to not have to put too much focus on, you know, okay, what's my glucose right now? What is like what's going on in my body? And, you know, I get live updates sent directly to either my Apple Watch or my Apple phone, and you know, I get those live updates, and you know, I'm able to take care of my body the way I need to, and you know, that also allows me to go out there and just play ball.
What's the biggest challenge of being a diabetic and obviously still trying to do your job at the highest level in the NFL?
I mean, it's just extra steps that, you know, you have to do. You know, you have to know what your blood sugar is. You have to know what you're putting in your body. You know, you could probably just go eat a Snicker and then just, you know, keep doing your job. You know, I got to eat a Snicker.
I can eat a lot of Snickers doing a talk show here.
You know what I mean? So, you know, but I say the biggest thing, you know, if it was a walkaway message, it would be, you know, diabetes shouldn't hold anyone back. You know, whatever you want to do, whatever you set your mind out to do, you know, you can do it, diabetic or not. You know, all you have to do is just educate yourself and take care of yourself, and you know, anything is possible.
Looking forward to watching more of you in a Jet uniform. Excited about you, Garrett, the rest of that wide receiver room going forward.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
A.D. Mitchell from the New York Jets, our guest, live on the Jake Asman Show here at Radio Row.